Welcome, friends, to the MJ Radio. I almost said the MelindaJoy Hour, but this is no longer the MelindaJoy Hour. It's MJ Radio, even though you can see me and you can see my guests. We're new to YouTube and have been on the radio, the actual classical like radio, for the last year as the MelindaJoy Hour. Now, I have a guest coming back who's been on the MelindaJoy Hour, now coming to be with me on MJ Radio. And my friend's name is Doyle, and he is a structural integrationist. That's a mouthful.
Very good.
And last time you were on my show, Gene, we talked about the particulars of that work and how it intersects with mental health in working somatically intersects with mental health. We talked about that. A lot's happened since you were here. We've come into this, right? We've come, we're not done yet, but we've come into this time of great uncertainty and pandemic, social unrest, all of these things that are really causing people discomfort and pain, whether they're catching the illness or not. And wow, so many things in this world that we never expected. And I know that I'm seeing certain things in my work as a psychotherapist. And by the way, friends, I am MelindaJoy Patterson, licensed mental health counselor. I am your host for this show, and I am in private practice of psychotherapy in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I have a great time when I'm not seeing clients. I have a great time talking to interesting people and having my consciousness raised. And it seems to me of benefit to share some of these conversations with the collective for the raising of all consciousness. And so we're going to talk about some more about your work, Gene, how you've seen people impacted through this time, whatever is on your mind. Actually, it's fair game.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that introduction. That was lovely. Melinda, I think the main thing that we're dealing with, really, in actuality, is that most of the human beings on the planet right now are impacted with something they've never seen before, but it's not just a health issue. It's an issue of what can I expect, and no one knows what to expect. So therefore, we've all lived half of our lives planning for the future, and a portion of it, sometimes very small portion, actually being in the moment. Well, what this COVID piece is really forcing upon all of us is you got to let go of the potential for the future and start investing and considering now and what your options are now, how you can best affect things in a positive way now, without saying, oh, I'm going to go to college and 4 years from now, then I'll get a degree. And no, that's not where we are now.
Oh, okay.
Now we need to say, here I am. These are the tools I have. This is the place I see myself being able to do some small amount of help. If
so you're seeing,
go on.
You're seeing people come to terms with, what is it that I really want in my life, and what is it that I really don't,
and what have I been accomplishing, and what am I not accomplishing?
Yeah, good questions all. And
yes.
I like to ask people, what is it that you do not miss from BC, right? What is it that you do not miss? And the other side of that coin, what is it that you do miss?
Interestingly enough, in my own practice, what I've noticed, Melinda, is that I have not had one single person say, oh my God, I want to go back to the way I was. Virtually everyone says, I've really enjoyed being at home with my kids. I've been on this
mhm.
incredible, absolute, out of control roller coaster trying to chase what I thought was the American dream. I'm now realizing that that was a misinvestment of my energy, and I want to be different now. And the other big major piece is all my friends are saying the same thing. Not my friends, their friends.
Yeah,
So many people are saying, you know, I hate what's happening, but I'm really glad it gave me a chance to step back for a moment.
right. And I'm so glad to hear you say that, because that's not what we would be. Uh, it's not what we would be given to believe through the news. All the
Of course.
headlines are, you know, all of the people going to the beach, and I'm going to do what I want to anyway, and I don't care, and that's why everybody's getting sick. And you're telling me that you're discovering that people are really contemplating the deeper things of life and what they want and don't want.
I think
That
that's
just makes me
incredibly
so
useful.
happy to hear. That's so
Yeah.
hopeful.
Yes. Well, now let's not forget, of course, typically speaking, the minorities, I don't mean in terms of color, I mean in terms of thought, oftentimes band
Okay.
together and make themselves very vocal, which in a democracy such as we currently inhabit is allowed.
Last time we checked, right?
So in any
It's still
case,
supposed to be.
right. So, you know, here we're allowed and we're encouraged to speak our minds, which in my worldview is incredibly powerful and healthy. So being able to say, yeah, I don't really like that is so American. That's wonderful. But we also need to understand that you can say, I don't like that, but I understand we got to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of what you're hearing is, you know, oh, nobody comes to my gun shop with a mask on kind of deal, you know, and that is their perfect right to say that. We're Americans. Unfortunately, it's stupid. Okay. Forgive me, anyone who doesn't agree with that, but
No.
it's America. I get to say it, right?
You get to say it. And you especially get to say it on this show.
So really, I think where we are at this point in time is most people are saying, okay, where am I now and what can I do? And many people, unfortunately, are coming up with a null and void. I got nothing I can do. And those are the ones who get very upset, angry, start yelling and, you know, being upset with people in traffic and stuff because they're powerless. They feel powerless.
They feel powerless. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I completely understand.
Mm-hmm. Do any of those people come into your practice?
All the time.
And what do you have to say to them?
Well, so one of my pieces is I'm not a speech therapist, as you know. I'm not a talk therapist. But people come in and in their body package is all these other pieces. When we begin to open up that shoulder that's been bugging them so long, or that hip that makes them limp, all the issues that are contained in there begin to surface. They come out in the speech, they come out in their thoughts, they come out in their behavior. I've had people suddenly start talking about how, oh, my mother used to tell me what to do all the time. I hated it. It's like, well, gee, I wonder where that came from. See, they're being reminded. God damn, my mom is back in my bedroom telling me to make my bed before I go to school. You know, this I don't like this. So bringing out a lot of our childhood stuff. Sneezy cat.
Do you hear those animals? It's the pet carnival happening beneath my feet. A cat and a dog, and just, you know, mixing it up over here.
Now that's true health. You have pets. That's good.
It does make life interesting. Yeah, it does for sure. And I'm so excited about doing this YouTube, because it's like, and in this informal way, because whatever, you know, whatever comes sailing by, we can just bring it on in, and it won't matter.
I like it. Good. Well, you know, that kind of free-form structure is something that has always been really fun to work with, because whatever pops up is a good thing. And usually the moment is what brings forward the best stuff, right?
Yes. Well, so I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit
Ah,
and ask you this question for personally,
sure.
what is it? How has this impacted you personally? What is it that you don't miss? What, because you're already a guy who goes camping a lot, you get out in nature, I hope that's okay. I'm gonna let your secret out of the bag.
Just don't give them any of my campsites. That's all.
No, no. Those are so secret. I don't know about them either. I just know you go, that
Yeah.
you are dedicated to the outdoors,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
part of your health, part of your whole being.
Yes. Plus, I would offer to you that I've been a musician since grade school. I play a number of instruments, not all of them very well, believe me. But the point being, thank you. The point being that having a cool place in the woods, or a calm place in your yard, or an instrument to play, or humming or singing your favorite song, all these things are very much in the moment. They're in now, and those are the places we need most to build up and fortify. Because if we're really solid in our foundation, a number of other people have said this, then you don't get pushed over when things happen. If your foundation is very weak, then it's more easy, over you go. Plus, another thing I've really noticed dramatically in my practice, Melinda, is those who have had a developed interior landscape, those who have spent time inside themselves, looking, thinking, clearing things out, considering, those people are doing better with the C19 than those who did not have that internal landscape. I'm sure you see that as well.
Yes.
Because you're
I would
taking
agree
away
with that.
their personality. If I can't go to dinner, and I can't go see my friends, and I can't go out dancing, and I can't go meet that girl I saw the other day and go on a date, who am I?
Oh dear. Now you got to figure that out.
And that's the question that's being presented to the whole world. If I'm not that, then who am I? And that, I think, is why, again, a lot of people are saying, I'm really upset, I'm angry, I'm grumpy, everybody's upsetting me, and I kicked my dog when I went home. It's because they don't feel they have any power in the world anymore.
Yeah. Oh. And people need support. They need the kind that you offer. In somatic modality,
Yes.
they need the support that I offer, and that's what I call it. I'm a psychotherapist, but I call it support, because it's not about there being something. Yeah, it's not about something being wrong with a person. It's about people having stuff that needs to come up and out, and cease to be a burden, and it needs support. And in this time, I don't think you can have too much support.
Absolutely. In fact, it's why so many people are, doing Zoom happy hours and all kinds of stuff, just trying to get some modicum of, yeah, this is cool. I'm okay with this. I can deal with this.
And yet, there is life outside of Zoom. There is a moment when there's
please don't say it.
too much Zoom. I feel like, I love this. And I see my clients however it's going to work. We can talk on the phone. We can Zoom. They can come in person. I have some who are starting to return, as I know you do.
Sure.
We can even text. I've even learned that I can do therapy on text. Whatever you got, we can make it work. Whatever's going to make you feel safe.
I love it.
However we need to go about this, it's okay. And where was I going with that? Totally
support. I think we started with support.
Yes. Oh my God. But nevertheless,
I have to say, go on.
Yeah, please, because I still lost track.
No worries. Well, I really think with all the technology we have created in the last 10, 15 years, it's made what's happening now much more easily done.
Oh, if we didn't have technology, and that I do remember where I was going with that now, is because if we didn't have this, we would be lost. We would be
Yeah.
lost. I really am grateful
Yes.
for the way that therapy can happen, the way that we can stay connected to family, and at the same time, there is a point at which I say, like, okay, that's my Zoom limit. That's my Zoom limit. I'm going to see my clients. I'm gonna do my YouTube. There's a couple of people I'm going to talk to after hours, and I don't want to take classes online. I don't want to go to church online.
Oh, come on.
No, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, I have
Really
a screen
don't.
time limit too. I know, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get.
Yeah. There's a
Now wait, is Netflix
woo,
included in that?
saturation. Oh, don't say that. Don't say that, because I'm not including that in my limit. There's
All right,
too many
perfect.
good things on Netflix that I haven't seen yet.
Binge, baby, binge.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay,
Oh my
good.
gosh. Yeah. Well, you also you have a kid somewhere.
Two, one in Alaska and one in
Two.
New Zealand. So I was going to say, you had asked specifically, what did you like and what did you not like?
Yes, I still want to know that for you
That's
personally.
right. So the first
Mhm.
part was, well, okay, we can still move around a bit, and now is being much more reinforced. We have to consider now more than ever before. That's good. On the negative side, we're not allowed to travel hardly at all. I mean, here, as you know, the governor of New Mexico said if you leave the state, we want you to do a 2-week quarantine before you go back out into New Mexico in terms of the population. So
Right.
I have a wonderful, wonderful daughter in New Zealand, a wonderful son-in-law, and a brand new granddaughter who I have never met because she was born during the crisis and I can't go travel to see them. I have a delightful, wonderful son and his girlfriend in Alaska. Great people, wonderful people. Love being with all of those people. Cannot do that now. So I think all of us are feeling that as a limitation in my mind, more than a lot of other things. Yes, I have to wear a mask. Yes, I have to stand in line. No, I can't go walk into the store whenever I want to. I can't just walk up to somebody and strike up a conversation being who I am. I would do that. But point being that those things were taken away, but there's other pieces that can be put in their places. And that's what we're all trying to seek out right now. I can't go to the pub and have a beer. Can't go visit your friends somewhere. If you do, you're sitting around 6 feet apart, taking your mask off to sip and then put it back. I mean, we're having to find new ways to relate to each other. And because we're such gregarious animals, being separated,
we are
oh
social
my God.
beings.
And it's been proven a number of times in studies that hugging increases the immune response. So here we are in dramatic need of a powerful immune system, and we're being told, and rightfully so, don't hug each other.
Don't be doing right, and that's what I miss.
Well, one of the most basic
I
human
miss that so
responses is
much.
touch.
Yeah.
You know?
I miss that a lot.
And it's interesting too.
Yeah.
I'm a manual therapist. People come to me for an hour. I've got my hands on them. I'm working on them and stuff. And of course, we're wearing masks. And of course, we clean everything like we're insane in between each patient. It takes a lot more time, please. But the point being that when we're all done and they get up and they're ready to go out, what do? Put their elbow out. Okay, man, see you later. It's such a habit now. I've just had my hands over half of their body while we talked. And then here they are. They don't want to shake my hand.
Don't be hugging me.
So I keep hand sanitizer on the desk. We do the whole testing thing when they walk in, look for temperatures. We ask about travel.
Oh.
Oh, yes. We make sure everyone's been properly quarantined if they have travel. Have you had anyone at your house that's been traveling? There's a whole set of questionnaires. So really the practice has changed quite dramatically, but the work can still be done. I'm sure you're finding the same thing.
Oh
But you've
yeah.
had to change. You've had to change.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Before this happened, I didn't have any thought in my head that I wanted to do any kind of therapy with technology.
Uh-huh.
I'm a toucher. I'm a hugger. I'm a nurturing. That requires physical presence.
Agreed.
But but my vision of what therapy can be has been greatly expanded. I don't want to, see in 5 years. I don't want to be still doing this. In next year, this time, I don't want to be still doing this. But I want to be capable. I want to remain capable and flexible of doing therapy in whatever way is going to work for my clients. And I would expect that I have some clients that will opt to never come back into the office. That we will
I think
continue
that's a
this way
perfectly
indefinitely.
legitimate. I think that's perfectly legitimate.
And as far as I'm concerned, that's fine. It's whatever. It's how therapy is about safety.
Yes.
One of the biggest components of therapy is about safety. And if you don't feel safe, we're not going to get any work done. So
Right.
I want it to be that's the primary focus for me. So I'm grateful for that, for having my consciousness expanded in that way. And who knows what else we might learn before we're done.
Well, a whole lot more, I hope. I'm not done with that venue. I need to keep going to. I have to tell you, just
Yeah.
learning and learning and learning. As long as you're
Right.
learning, the experience not wasted.
Right. Well, exactly. I pretty much have that philosophy anyway. Nothing is wasted. It may have felt yucky. It may have really been painful, but it was not wasted. It was not wasted.
Again,
Yeah.
going back to a very old saying, no thing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. We talked
I
in the
think
last,
I've heard you say that before.
because I believe it so deeply. I should have been a Stoic. I should have been in Greece. But I think the important thing here is that we need to remember it's not what happens to us, it's how we decide to feel about what happens to us.
Yeah.
And that is within our power to decide how we're going to react.
It is.
And that's what most people are giving up as a right now. They're giving up their right to react as they wish. They're reacting as though they're still 11 years old and they can't go to their favorite movie house. See? But in reality, now forgive me, in my perceived reality, the best and healthiest way to look at this is to say, okay, what are my options? What can I do? And what of those is useful? Because wandering around the street with a weapon, complaining I have to wear a mask and nobody should have to, yeah, okay, it expresses yourself, but I don't see it as being very useful. Okay? It's like people saying, oh, this is another one, and I'm sure you've seen this as well. How did all this get started? Who's responsible? I want to know who's responsible.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start where we are, get past this thing, and then maybe in the future we'll be able to parcel that out and look at what's going on, say, okay, this part was here and this part was there, and I get it now. But right now, that's not the most important question. And I get podcasts and all kinds of stuff sent to me from my patients. Oh, look what they've discovered. No, this is an opinion.
Right. Right. And there's a lot of opinions out there.
Mine included.
That's for sure. Well, are you making music on Zoom, or are you making music 6 feet apart? How are you doing that? How are you negotiating that, Gene?
It started off just everybody playing alone at their houses. That's all anybody could do. Then about 3 times now, I've been invited to jam sessions that are outdoors, 8 feet apart. And if you're not singing or blowing your harmonica, you've got a mask on. See, I was teasing the harmonica player that if you put the mask on the outside of his harmonica. He said, okay, no more ideas from you.
No.
But if we're far enough apart, social distancing, outdoors. Now that has been very well ascertained now. that distance and being outdoors is very effective.
Outdoors is the best, right? Yeah.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
as
and
you said, it's my favorite spot.
I know it's your favorite spot. Do you go fishing when you go camping?
I don't. I follow something for a long, long time called ahimsa. Ahimsa is nonviolence in word or deed. It's a
Okay.
Hindu thought, and
Uh-huh.
I followed it since I was about 15.
Okay.
So I don't like to kill
So,
things. Even in the house, I'll grab a bug in a jar, take it outside, and let it go.
okay. And say that word again. Ahimsa.
Ahimsa. Ahimsa.
Ahimsa. Ahimsa.
AHIMSA.
Okay. Well, so
Nonviolence or word or deed.
does that mean you're vegetarian?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that about you, Gene.
Well, I used to think it was really great to pull stuff out of the rivers and shoot stuff running around and everything. But then I began to realize that if I didn't want to do that for myself, why was I letting someone else do it for me?
Ah,
See, if I didn't want
there's
to
a
take
point.
then why would I say, oh, I'll let the untouchables do it? See, that doesn't work.
Ah, I see.
It's a personal responsibility thing.
Sure. Mm-hmm. 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 Well, see how great this is. I get to learn stuff about
You
you.
had no idea,
Yeah.
did you?
Right. Right. As many times I've been in your office,
That's right.
I'm not recalling us having that conversation.
Well, I have another man who comes to me, he's a veggie, and he said, well, you know, somebody was trying to irritate me and called me soy boy the other day, and I cracked up. I said, soy boy? Really? That's supposed to be like offensive or something?
They were having a hard time thinking of something to say.
Exactly. Thank you. They needed
To
you on the
opt
other
for that
end.
one. Yeah, to opt for that one. Wow. Oh my
Anyway,
gosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're deeply misunderstood.
Vegetarians or
Yes.
structural integrationists
Both.
or musicians.
All three. You put the three of them together, it's indefinable.
So what music do you play?
I play everything but opera. Oh, wait,
Everything but
I should throw
opera.
in classical
What
as well.
are you
I'm dealing
discriminating
with a lot of
now?
people playing classical now, so no classical. But reggae, blues, rock, country, you know, all of the standard Americana forms.
Yeah.
Just
Mhm.
throw something out and I'll follow it.
Oh, that's great. And so you're going to name the instruments?
The only thing I'll get on the stage anymore for is bass, because that's what I'm best at, bass guitar. But I also
Electric
play,
or
yes, electric. And I've attempted the acoustic, but I only get laughed at by my friends who actually really play it, so I don't do that.
Oh,
And
that is a beautiful instrument. Mm.
then I fiddled with the acoustic guitar. I'm just learning the electric guitar. I'm terrible on the banjo, and I play the slide guitar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And how long say again, how long you've been playing
I
music?
started in 7th grade. As you can tell, it was a while ago.
Oh, I would never even begin to try to calculate.
Well over 50 years. Let's put it that way.
Well, this has been so much fun. This has been so much fun. Is there something we should talk about that we haven't talked about already?
The one last thing I think I wanted to say was, the more we understand that all of us are suffering through this, the more we will have patience for ourselves and others.
I think that bears repeating.
The more we understand that we are all suffering through this together, the more patience and understanding we will have for ourselves and for others, even the others we don't know. That guy,
Right.
that jerk that pulled in front of you in the car, the person who cut into your parking space, the person who didn't listen to you when you said, please don't do that. They're suffering like we're suffering. If we remember that, there will be a lot more room and caring in the world. And that's what we need right now.
It is. And if there's one thing we can do for each other, if there's one thing any of us can do, it's be kind. Just be kind. Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh,
Well, thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much. I have no idea what time it is.
I
But
can look, but
this,
there's not much point.
but this has been so great. And it's just been so much fun. And I thank you for being here. If you will hang around for a minute while I
Sure.
close this up,
Not a
I have a
worry.
word for you.
Okay. Great.
Thank you, my friends, for listening in, watching in, because you get to see now, even though it's MJ Radio on YouTube. And I am Melinda Joy Pattison, your host and instigator for increasing the collective consciousness. So we'll see you again next time.